Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the video. Alright, so today we have some patch notes, Marvel Rivals version 2025 April 30 balance post, which is going to be actually tomorrow. Let's see. Bam, yeah, tomorrow release. Alright. Turns out even superheroes need to hit the gym, or occasionally the Nerf bat. Just some tweaks to keep those super squads perfectly balanced as all things should be. Let's dive in. Alright, interesting. Cool. First, let's start with Vanguards. Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty, will see some reductions to his survivability. Reduce base health from 650 to 600. Okay, that's not a really big nerf, but his whole thing is survivability, so we'll see how that turns out, right? Doctor Strange. Stephen will experience a reduction in the energy cost of his ultimate ability, amplifying his mystical menace on the battlefield. Decrease the energy cost to unleash the Eye of Agamotto ultimate ability from 3400 to 3100. Alright, so they don't want him to be strong, but they want him to get his ult more easily. I see. So they're pretty happy with the nerfed version of Doctor Strange, because before he was pretty on the OP side. But since he gets his ult more often, maybe he's going to be more viable than he is now, which is interesting. They just don't want him to be doing as much damage, which makes me think maybe Emma's going to be nerfed sometime soon. Groot. The Flora Colossi's ability to isolate enemies and block damage will take a minor hit. Reduce the health of Ironwood Wall from 700 to 600. That's not too much of a thing. You'll still not be able to shoot through the walls super easily. You'll still need heroes that, you know, like Shred Through It, Punisher, or Squirrel Girl, but it'll be a lot faster, so it won't feel as oppressive as before, just a little bit. Duelists. Spider-Man. We're tightening the webbing on Spider-Man's hit detection range. Decrease the damage range of Amazing Combo from 5 meter radius to 4 meter radius. Wait. So, Amazing Combo is the uppercut, right? So he uses the combo, he has to wait 2 seconds to use another one, and it charges every 6 seconds, which is pretty crazy. So the Amazing Combo is reduced from 5 meters to a 4 meter radius, which isn't that much. The oh my, that's how is that hitting type of hits will be reduced, but it's not that much of a nerf. I feel like 3 meters would probably be too much, and the Spider-Man players are gonna, you know, be like, what the hell, this doesn't even work. So I would say 3.5 meters would have been a better option, but you know, hey, a nerf is a nerf, we'll take it, right? Winter Soldier. Bucky is getting a combat upgrade, ramping up his threat level and firepower on the field. Adjust the Tainted Voltage ability to have 2 charge levels while keeping the cooldown time unchanged. Projectile Trajectory does 55 damage, slows them for 35%, slow duration is for 2 seconds, and cooldown is 6 seconds. So there's going to be 2 levels. It could be 2 charge levels. It could be that he charges his Tainted Voltage where it hits 1 and 2, but he's never had charge on it, so it could also mean, which probably is what's going to be, that he's going to have 2 of those, or it charges. It's not very specific over here. We'll find out tomorrow. Alright, here's the main chunk of, you know, what we need to know. Adam Warlock. We're enhancing Avatar of Life's sustainability to keep him fighting for cosmic justice. Add a new effect to Quantum Magic. When a critical hit lands on an enemy, reduce the cooldown time of Avatar Lifestream by 1 second. Avatar Lifestream is basically his healing. It heals 95. He heals him for 35. Number of bounces, it bounces twice. 20 meter radius, 2 charges, with each charge taking 6 seconds to recharge. The cooldown will be reduced by 1 second every time he hits critical hits, so headshots. Damn, DPS Adam is a real thing. This guy's going to be like crazy. Very much like Mantis, huh? We'll see what Mantis's buffs are going to be like. Cloak and Dagger, Ty and Tandy are sharpening their blades and cloaks for more impactful strikes. As Cloak, increase the damage of Dark Force Cloak from 75 per second to 80 per second. Okay, that's a buff. It's not crazy, but it's enough to you know, to be noticeable. As Dagger, increase the damage of Light Force Dagger on hit from 15 to 18. That's a substantial buff, but then, you know, it's already a weak attack, so are you gonna be using it, right? Nobody uses it. The only time this is useful is like homing against flying people, like when Spider-Man is like really far away, or, you know, somebody's like in the air. This could work. I've had kills, where I killed Spider-Man running away when his health was low. Like that type of stuff definitely is gonna get a buff. But other than that, you know, when you're getting dove on, are you really gonna be using this? Probably not. But a buff is a buff, so we'll take it. Luna Snow, we're ramping up this K-pop sensation's damage output when she strikes enemies from a distance. Adjust the damage fall off of light and dark ice from 60% to at 40 meters to 75%. So triple shot that hits instantly. 20 damage per round for a total of 60 damage per hit. That's actually not bad. Fall off begins at 20 meters, decreasing at 60% at 40. So that's going to be 260%. That's going to be 75%. So, you know, it's going to be a 15% increase of the total power. So the math on that would be like this. So basically damage per hit would be 15. Total damage would be 45 instead of 60. So the worst her damage is going to be for her left click is 45 if you hit all three, and then 15 if you hit only one of those, you know, the hits. So that's pretty substantial. But the question is, wasn't the problem that strategists were getting dove on? So this doesn't really address that. However, Luna Snow is the most OP healing strategist as far as healing goes. So maybe they thought, you know, she doesn't need that as much. Mantis, we're empowering Mantis's damage output to reflect her true fighting spirit. Increase the hit damage of Life Energy Blast from 50 to 55. But the only thing that is changed is the damage, 50 to 55. That is going to be noticeable. Well, here's the thing. Is it going to be really noticeable? If you have a 250 health hero, right, you're still going to need 5 shots to kill them. And then if it's a 300 health hero, you need 6 shots to kill him normally, but now still 6 shots. Does it make a difference? Maybe if you hit the critical. However, if somebody else hits him, you know, or if their life is a little bit low, it is still noticeable. So, you know, that's a very big buff. Team up abilities. Stars align. Captain America and Winter Soldier, their new team up. Legendary Alliance gets an even mightier boost. Upon leaping to a teammate, Stellar Impact will provide 50 bonus health to allies within range. That's a substantial buff, but you do need Captain America for this team up to work. And with the nerf, is he gonna be picked less? You know, is it gonna make a big enough difference that he's gonna be picked less? Because 600 health, you know, in a hero where like his survivability is the main thing, could be a big impact, right? And then if he's not being picked, then this team up ability is not gonna do anything. Also, Captain America plays in dive. Is Bucky dive? Can you play Bucky with dive? That's a big question. You know, right? Is Captain America a good anti-dive? If you can play Captain America as a good anti-dive with Bucky, that could work. His mobility definitely allows him to peel very quickly, but he doesn't inherently have a skill per se like Emma Frost, where she can just bam do something about it, you know, or the Thing. He can just show up and be like, whoa, less damage reduction, and then you can't run away now. You know, clobbering time. And Emma's just like priceless. But what does Cap do? He can shield, maybe. Yeah, maybe if you can play him like that, it'd be great. Or if Bucky can, you know, work in a dive comp, that would work too. So that's the patch notes. Not too much, but you know, strategists have been buffed. Adam Warlock and Mantis, definitely lots of DPS. Cloak and Dagger, everybody has really good DPS. Luna Snow, she's really strong, but does this help her against that? But all the other heroes definitely get a big buff. So that's gonna be great. Spider-Man, the nerf could have been a little bit more, maybe like 3.5 meter. I think would have been the best. You know, 3 meters, that's too much, I think. The Bucky, we'll see what it is. If he has 2 tainted voltage abilities, that's pretty crazy. You know, just more ammo for him, right? And then just uptime of just the skill rotation. That's gonna be crazy. He just doof, 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 you know what I mean? Like just doing some kind of skill like very quickly. You know, some kind of skill almost at all times, which is pretty wild to think about. Doctor Strange, I get it. He's not gonna be really strong anymore, but because he gets his Eye of Agamotto a lot faster now, maybe, you know, it justifies people playing it. He's just not gonna be doing the damage he did before. Unfortunate. And then Groot, very minor, very minor. Are you really gonna be feeling it? Yeah, you will. You will. But you know, Groot's still gonna be doing what he does, right? That's gonna be crazy. If it was 500 health, that would be pretty wild. 600, you know, being on the conservative side. That's it. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your games and enjoy the balanced updated game tomorrow. Have a good one. GG's, y'all.